Thank you for joining us for Pop-Up PD with the Teaching and Learning with Technology team. This session is on designing asynchronous and synchronous tasks. We'll start by looking at some of the guiding documents to help with your task design. Next, we'll look at designing the asynchronous component of a task. Finally, we'll look at considerations for the synchronous component. There are a few guiding documents to consider when mapping out your tasks. The first is the scope and sequence, and in this case we'll be looking at the math outcomes for the second reporting period. You'll also notice that the scope and sequence aligns with the Alberta Program of Studies outcomes. In addition to the scope and sequence and Alberta Program of Studies, the CBE Mathematics Strategy document highlights the importance of active participation and sense-making, formative assessment and feedback, among other indicators. The CBE Assessment and Reporting Guide is another valuable resource and can also support your task design. There are two main components to consider when planning online content: asynchronous and synchronous learning. In terms of what the literature says about asynchronous learning, benefits include flexibility in when students access content, and that it encourages interaction with the content in a personalized way. Best practices would include keeping that direct instruction, brief video lectures and readings in asynchronous form, and then checking for understanding using things like exit slips. The other component is synchronous learning. Here, the benefits include fostering authentic connections with students and among students, as well as creating opportunities to check understanding. Best practices include limiting the amount of whole class synchronous sessions and assigning student roles to engage with during these sessions. Let's map out a math task to consider how you might approach the synchronous and asynchronous components of the task. As with face-to-face teaching, student engagement is a significant part of online task design. We must also consider what part of this task should live asynchronously and completed at the student's own pace, and what part is better served as a synchronous small or whole group Google Meet session. We'll start by looking at the asynchronous piece. Here you might start by introducing some key academic vocabulary. You might record a tutorial video that can be viewed asynchronously, and then post discussion questions that can be taken up at a future Google Meet session. Thinking about the synchronous component of this math task, student engagement is a key consideration. Using a CBE-supported tool like Smart Learning Suite Online can be an effective way to engage students in discussion questions. You might set this up using one of the questioning and reflection templates, Summarize What You Have Learned. Then you could add in the math questions you wish to discuss. As students have already planned out their responses asynchronously, they'll be able to update this handout, having the benefit of that additional think time. Once they've completed the task, we can take a look at the commonalities and address gaps. For further support regarding the CBE Math Strategy, Assessment and Reporting Guide, Smart Learning Suite Online, and Learning Continuity documents, please visit the links listed here. Thank you for joining us on this Pop-Up PD. We'd like to extend our thanks to CBE specialists Connie Goodwin, Kathy Beamer, and Corey Braun for lending their expertise in creating this video.